Has it started recording?
Yes.
Okay, it has started recording.
Yes.
So, are you sure it's recording?
Mm,
It's recording now.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so once again, I welcome us to this meeting. You're all welcome. You may want to grab your paper and pen at this point. Yeah, yes. Please, you can just mute at this point. I need everybody to mute. Yeah. Do you know how to mute everybody? Okay. So, um, so today we are starting with the things you need to have in preparation for your mini exports. We are going to talk about large scale export, but we are starting with mini export because I believe most of us here want to start small, want to just test the market. So I will start with mini exports. I know most of, if you've not grabbed your paper, pen, or whatever to record, please do that now. So by now, I want to believe that you've chosen a product that you want to export. You've gotten a product that you have easy access to. It can be bitter cola, it can be cola nuts, it may also be palm oil, it might be egusi, it might be dried catfish, it might also be hibiscus flower, it could be loofah sponge, it could be our local sponge. You understand? So by now, I want to assume everybody have one or two products or three products that they know that they can have easy access to because I've been emphasizing it for so long. So for those of us now who are ready to start, who now have a product and we are ready to start on a small scale, here are a few list of things you need to get ready. By now, you should be prepared to get your pouches or Ziploc because that's where you are most likely, in fact, that's where you're likely to package your egusi. That's where you are going to package your crayfish. That's where you're going to package your spice. Your spice could be in PET bottles, so it could be pouches or Ziploc or PET bottles to package your spices like suya spice, pepper soup spice, jollof rice spice, tomato powder, onion powder, garlic spice, ginger spice, chili or cayenne pepper. You should have either a pouch or bottles ready. You should know where to get these contacts, the contact of where to get your packaging materials. So, I mean, you need the packaging materials to package your product. So, start making arrangements. For those of us in Lagos, I would have to share um, contacts with us in the group where you can get it for wholesale price, your pouches, your bottles. And at this point, if you've made up your mind the product you want to do and the packaging you want to use for your product, you should also get ready to do graphics. Okay, you should be contacting a graphic designer that would design your labeling. You are not just going to package an empty pouch or just carry an empty PET bottles. You are trying to build a brand, you are trying to enter the market. So you need to tell the market what your product is about. Your labeling should be able to convince the market to buy from you. Like I always say, your labeling should be catchy, should be colorful. When I say colorful, I don't mean shouty. I mean colorful and beautiful and attractive. And your labeling should contain your company name or your brand name. Take for instance, my company name is Chima Concepts and Logistics Limited. But what you usually see on my packaging is my brand name, which is Chimat Food, right? And your brand name needs to be there. And in that Chimat Food, if for instance it is garlic I am packaging, when you see Chimat Food boldly written, the next thing you see is the brand, the name of my product, maybe garlic spice or garlic powder, boldly written on it, or crayfish boldly written on it. So the name of your product needs to be on your labeling. And sometimes there are names of your products that may be in indigenous name. Take for instance, you may write locust beans, you can still slash it and say Iru in Yoruba. For instance, you can say pap flour, and you can slash it and say Ogi Akamu. So you can also put the indigenous name and the English name. Okay. You can say breadfruit, and then there should also be like ukwa, you understand, on it. Then the net weight of your product, the weight, I'm sure when you buy products that is branded and packaged, you see the weight of the product. Even though in this part of the world we don't really care much about the weight of our product, but over there it's not like that. Okay, so the weight of your product, if you intend packaging in 100 gram, you need to write it boldly on your labeling, or not necessarily boldly, but of course it has to be visible. 100 gram, right? And 100 grams should be 100 gram. 100 gram net weight means the weight of the product itself, not the packaging and the content, just the weight of the product. Okay, so if you are telling us 100 gram is the net weight, it's just the weight of the product. Then if you say gross weight, it is the weight of the container and the the spice or the content of the product itself. But net weight is fine, which is the content of the product. You also need a mini scale, right? You need a mini scale to measure your products. Anything you are measuring, if you are telling us you are packaging in 100 gram, it should be 100 gram. And how do you confirm that and ensure it is 100 gram? You need a scale. Okay, for small scale, it is mini scale. I don't know if I've shared the video with us. Maybe I'll share it after this meeting. But if you are going to be doing in tons, shipping through containers via sea, or even if you are shipping through air but you are shipping in bulk, you may need the digital scale, not the manual scale now, digital scale, okay, to measure your products, right? Okay, so be careful about the weight, because if you are writing 100 gram and then you go and over package, you are going to pay the excess while shipping, and it's your buyer that will be happy, because I mean when they scale it, it's above the net weight. And if it's below the net weight, when it gets there, of course you are not happy, and it shows that you are not trustworthy. Like you are writing the net weight is 100 gram, but actually it's 80 grams. So you need your scale to measure and get the accurate measurement. Okay, so nutritional facts need to be on your product. Someone like me, I care about what I consume. I want to know the nutritional value and all of that. So I check if it has a lot of cholesterol, carbohydrate, protein, the level of vitamins, and all of that is very important. So for some of us who are newbies, you may not have the money to start running, sorry, doing going for lab to get the nutritional facts, right? You can go on Amazon and check for the nutritional facts of your product. So take for instance, you are doing kuli kuli, right? So you will go and check for 100 gram of kuli kuli, the net weight on Amazon, sorry, the nutritional facts or value on Amazon, and replicate it. But be sure that your product is quality. Oh. On a normal day, you're even supposed to do the test to get the accurate nutritional facts. But because it's expensive, and maybe as you grow you have to do it for your product, but for now that you are just starting, you can go on Amazon. I'm just telling you from my own experience how I started. But the thing is, if you are packaging in 100 gram, make sure that the nutritional facts you are getting, that you are copying from, is same 100 gram. You understand? if you are packaging it in 200 gram and what you are seeing is 100 gram over there, you have to multiply the percentage, the number of value, to get the accurate value for your own nutritional facts. I hope I'm making sense. So that's how you can get nutritional facts. Then the ingredients. Okay, you can also put the ingredients. Maybe your product comprises of chili pepper, onions, maggi, and all of that. You have to include it. It's not compulsory anyway, it's optional. Some people don't like to include the ingredient because it's like giving out your recipe. I have an aunt that she can go to supermarket and then just read the ingredients and she'll go and replicate it. You understand? She can go on YouTube, watch, and then with the ingredients she has seen, you know, she'll go and replicate it. So it's optional, but I mean, if you decide to put it, it's still okay, right? Then direction for use. Some people are just seeing the product for the first time. They love the nutritional value. Your product is already telling what the health benefits, right? But they don't know how to use it. Okay, so, like someone like me, there was a time I didn't know how to make custard. As funny as it is, I didn't know how to make custard. My Once I put water, melt my custard and then put hot water, how the custard would just turn either watery or too thick, I won't even understand. So it took me a while. I know it's funny to actually know how to make custard. The custard used to do like magic to me. So there are people that still need to know that there are customers that might be interested to know how to use this your product. So it's good to put direction for use. Maybe add 1 teaspoon, put honey, 1 teaspoon, do this, do that. When it has boiled, all those. It's You don't need to tell long story. 2 3 lines, just summarize how to use it. It's optional anyway. Then expiry dates. Expiry dates of your product. So you need to know the shelf life of your product. You need to know the shelf life of your product. That's why it's even important to use a lab to check these things. But of course, if you don't know how long your product will last, you have to also Google for the shelf life, how long it lasts. But then again, you need to also know how to process this product to prolong the shelf life and the nutritional value, right? And that's why I'm even organizing a physical processing and packaging training, where we have an expert who teaches us how to process, how to package, when to package, when not to package, how to preserve your products to last long without using preservative and additive, how to I've had instances where people who export through us, by the time the goods get there, it's already moisty or forming mold and all of that. And then the buyers over there or the stores are complaining bitterly. You know, they are going to be teaching all this, how you can prevent all that. We really need to get it right. So I realize processing is key, and that's the essence of this physical meeting. Though it's going to be streamed online, this expert is coming with all her tools and equipment to show us practically how to process products of international standard that lasts long on the shelf, right? So expiring date has to be on your labeling. Then you can put made in Nigeria, right? Just you can use Nigerian flag, right? And yeah, green, white, green, made in. Then you put the flag or you put made in Nigeria. Then your email should be there so that buyers who test your product can easily contact you, or even if they don't contact you, they may even if they don't test your product and they see they are interested in your product, they may contact you via email or even share your contact with others, right? Then your phone number needs to be on your labeling. Your address, your address where production takes place needs to be on your labeling. Your barcode, a GS1 barcode, not all these barcode that is not readable or cannot really say what your brand or your product or the price of your product is about. So you need a GS1 barcode. I have someone that does barcode for 3K. I can share with the group, but if you have someone who does a GS1 barcode for less, of course you can use. So all these things should be on your labeling. Labeling is very important. In fact, it's your labeling that you actually convince buyer to buy from you. It's your labeling that does the talking for you when you are not there. By the time you've sent your goods and it's sitting on the shelf abroad, right? You are not there to defend yourself anymore. Your labeling has to defend you. Your labeling has to speak for you. Your labeling has to bring buyers to you. So your labeling is very important, so you need to put all this information on it so that it will do the convincing for you. Nutritional fact is very important. People are, like I always say, people are becoming more health conscious. You know, we have a lot of liver diabetes, kidney cancer going on. You understand? So people are becoming conscious of what they consume. People are going more organic these days. People are trying their best to reduce sugar intake and anything that has high cholesterol or anything that is going to harm their health. They are becoming more conscious. And don't forget to write no additive, no artificial seasoning, 100% organic or natural. Take for instance, if you are doing dehydrated veggies, always include properly dehydrated veggies, 100% organic, right? Any product you are doing, even if it's spice, ginger spice for example, also include 100% natural, no artificial seasoning or additives, organic. People want to see that on your labeling, and it has to be colorful. Don't go and use one dull color that nobody will even notice. Okay, you can go on Amazon, go on Walmart, go on this website and see for yourself the packaging people are using, right? So you want to stand out. Try as much as possible to do something unique. Of course, you are not the one designing. You may not be a graphic designer, but spell this out to your graphic designer. You can even log into Amazon or Alibaba or whatever website that has your products or they sell your product, and be with your graphic designer. You guys should just go through the pictures of the product you intend to sell, the packaging, and then come up with something that you feel you like. Okay, it's not like you are creating exact labeling as their own, but at least your designer should see and have an idea how colorful he or she should make your labeling, because it needs to be colorful, it needs to be catchy and attractive, it needs to be beautiful. And then when you add all these things to your labeling, it's already speaking for your product. So yeah, I think we've talked about labeling enough. So your pouches, your graphics is very important, and all these things I mentioned should be on your graphics. The next thing you need to get, if you are packaging in you are using pouch to package your product, you need a hand sealer. And hand sealer is not expensive. One of my mentee that is doing pap and clove, she packages in pouch. She got hers last month for 1,300 on Gigi. Though me, I got mine for 2,500, right? So it's not so expensive. Hand sealer is fine. If you have another option of sealing machine is also fine, but I mean hand sealer is perfect to seal your pouches, your ziploc. And when you buy a ziploc bag, don't just rely on that ziploc. Aside the ziploc, also have a hand sealer that double seals your pouch. Very, very important. Okay, so let me talk briefly about our processing training. It's most likely going to hold now on the 3rd of December, no longer 26th. The um, facilitator had to plead for to me that she wants to shift the day, that should be very busy. So it's most likely going to be on the 3rd of December. It's on a Saturday like this. More details will be sent to the group on Monday by God's grace. So I decided to chip it in before I forget. So the last thing I mentioned that you need is a hand sealer. For those who are going to be packaging in bottles, you need what we call tamper proof tamper proof that covers the cover, okay, and protects the cover. I don't know, I wish I can share my screen here. So you need a tamper proof and maybe like a shotgun to make sure that that tamper proof covers and seals the the mouth of your pet bottles between the cover and the bottle itself. I hope I'm clear enough. Okay, so what else do you need? Yes, you don't need a dehydrator for now. You are just starting this business, and for some of us, dehydrator might be expensive. I would say you hold on for between 2 to 3 months. When you've done once, done twice, done 3 times, 4, 5 times, you can now get a dehydrator. Then I will not be the one to tell you the size of dehydrator you buy. You by yourself, you know the based on the demand you are getting, you know the size of dehydrator you need to get, because there are products that you are going to be processing that you cannot run away from dehydrator. Take for instance spice. I try as much as possible to dehydrate spice so that, because it prolongs the shelf life and it retains the natural nutrients. Okay, products like veggies, when you properly dehydrate, it can last for even 1 year. Yes, I'm not hyping it. It can last for even 1 year. And when you even put it inside water, you realize that the freshness is still the same as if you just bought it today if you dehydrate properly. Don't sun dry. There are products you don't sun dry. Egusi, if you are going to be doing processed egusi, grounded egusi, you should not sun dry. When you sun dry, it makes it moisty. You may air dry, but preferably dehydrate. Okay, for those in Lagos, I know we have commercial dehydrators. I know of a few that my mentees are using. Like my mentee who does pap, I recommended this facilities, even NAFDAC certified, and they go there, they just buy corn, they ground the corn, they sieve it to powder and they dehydrate, and they even tell her they give her the expiring date. It doesn't does it takes long for flour to expire, but this one, the shelf life is almost like 2 years after dehydrating. Okay, so they have so many of these, about three, four, five I know in Lagos, commercial dehydrator. The one I know is run by one company and is in like 5 location. But for those of us who are outside Lagos, okay, you may have to find if there's anything like commercial dehydrator. If they don't have, you may have to get the small one. Even though the small one takes longer time to dehydrate, you may have to start small, get the small one, or avoid product that needs dehydrator. Okay, you may just have to avoid product that needs dehydrator. So as your mentor, I would say don't get the hydrator for now. Start the business, see how it's going before you start investing in the hydrator. Right now, you guys are in the testing phase. Am I guaranteeing sales? Yes, I'm guaranteeing sales, but you are trying to introduce different products to the market and you are not sure which one the market will accept. Okay, you can start with 2 3 products, and then with time you know which one the market accepts and focus on that one, right? Okay, so the hydrator, I've talked about having why you should not get it now. It's my own opinion, but if you think otherwise, you can still get. And now you also um what else? You need to get a barcode. I think I've talked about it. A barcode that is readable. So once you are able to get all these things that I just mentioned, or you can start doing your estimate how much to get all these things done is going to cost you. Right? The essence of this meeting is for us to start preparing. So I want to believe we are jotting or we are recording, or of course we are paying attention. So start doing your calculation now based on all these things I mentioned, because it is important. Now I just want to briefly talk about shipping before I go to the available markets we have on ground, right? So, for shipping, we have doorstep shipping and we have that's I'm talking for what's it called now, for small scale. After small scale, I'll go to large scale. For small scale, we have doorstep shipping. That's if you are shipping through air, and we have the pickup or consolidation. So for doorstep shipping, depending on the buyer that wants to buy your products, okay, you are most likely going to give the buyer. For doorstep shipping means that the price the buyer is paying you will be inclusive of the shipping cost itself, the clearing at the airport, and then the doorstep from the airport to the buyer's location, right? So what the buyer pays you is inclusive of shipping, clearing, and doorstep, right? So personally, I don't like doing pickup because this dollar rate fluctuates. Sometimes you can tell buyer that the doorstep delivery is 6,000 naira, and then before you know, dollar fluctuate because you are not paying everything at once, right? You are not going to pay everything at once. You first of all pay for shipping. When it arrives, shipping company will call you and tell you that it's now $5 or $2 or $1, and then you now send. Who knows? Maybe dollar rate has changed, and then by the time you are paying for that one, you're realizing that you are not even making profit, and then you also pay from the point. So after clearing, you pay to the doorstep. So I prefer to do pickup. So pickup means that the buyer is just going to pay for shipping fee alone. After paying for shipping fee, when the goods arrive, like I'm doing consolidation now for some of my mentees. So we have goods going to a particular location in US, New Jersey. Okay, so both of us brought, sorry, five of us brought different products that is going to that particular store in New Jersey, right? So because we came together and the quantity is much, is consolidation, and the shipping line gave us reduced cost for us because I mean we are shipping over 1,000 kg, so they reduced cost for us, right? So we came together and shipped together. So when the goods arrive, the shipping company, sorry, the African store they'll be notified. Of course, the African store has an agent there. They'll come pay for the clearing and then pay for doorstep to the store. That way, we are only responsible for the shipping fee, and we had to ship consolidation for 2,500. Yeah, because we are shipping in bulk. If not, the fee was 2,700, right? So if you want to give your buyer price for air shipping, I prefer you do pick up, except the buyer says that he doesn't have time to come and pick up, or he doesn't have an agent, and then you can now go ahead and do doorstep delivery. Or even the doorstep delivery can still actually get to the pickup price you are giving the buyer can actually still be doorstep, because when it gets to the shipping company, they will be called upon that their goods have arrived. And normally I have an agent in some of these location. I notify my agent that, please, once you notify them that the goods have arrived, they should pay for clearing. Also let them know that they can also pay for you to deliver to their location. Just a minute, guys. Okay. You can also let them know that the goods can be delivered to their location, and then the agent over there delivers to their location. So there are various shipping companies you can contact that can help you ship seamlessly at affordable rates. I don't think I'll be able to share the contact here. I will share it in the group after today for those of us who want to do air shipping. So I think I'm done with things to get prepared for small scale. So for if you are doing air shipping pickup, you should be budgeting minimum 2.5. It depends and it varies from shipping company to shipping company. And if you that's packaging, 2.5 packaging. And if you are doing doorstep, you should be budgeting between 5,500 to 7,000. It could be 6K, it could be 6,500, it could be 7K. So, but budget from 5,000 for doorstep, like your buyer will get it doorstep, or the African shop will get it in their shop, right? So I just mentioned shipping so that you can actually budget for it, because shipping, without shipping, of course, your buyer cannot receive the goods. Then um now we want to move to things to get ready for large scale export. So if you want to do large scale exports, what you need to put in place. um Sorry. For large scale exports now, you need to have a limited liability company, not business name. It has to be limited liability company registered with CAC. It could also be cooperative, right? But limited liability mostly is what people register. And then you need to have your NEPC license from the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Just a minute, guys.
I'm trying to join. I don't know why it's not.
And I think, hello, hello, good afternoon. Yes, you said you can hear me now. I've unmuted. Thank you.
What's happening?
Say they can't hear me. Please, house, if you can hear me, let me know. You can now mute and let me know. Someone just called and said she cannot hear me. Seems they can't hear me. Network. Are you sure you have data?
Maybe that's what happened. It's network. It's network is
Please, if you can hear me, let me know. Kindly indicate.
let them know where you stop.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
We
thank
can
you.
hear you. Welcome. Oh.
Thank you.
I can hear you.
All right. Please,
We
on.
can hear you.
Okay, thank you. You can now mute. Thanks. Okay, can one person let me know where I stopped?
You were talking about. You're talking about answering. Get line of the product, putting your email somewhere there. Where you stop? Okay, don't come back.
Okay,
Okay,
Karim
don't come back.
Kaulat, please, can you tell me where I stopped?
Yes, okay. So that we could get counselor. Counseling. The counselor material. You have someone they can give out at
I thought I've passed all those
that
places. That means I've been talking to myself all this while. All right.
yes, yes, that's where you stop counselor. Then you talk about barcodes before the answer.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's mute. Okay. We can now mute. I've gone so far. Okay. That means all this while I've been talking to myself. Please, let's mute. Let's mute. Let's all mute now. Thank you. Okay. Right. So I didn't know I was talking to myself all this while. Though. It's network. Okay. So after the barcode, you've gotten your hand sealer. Then the next thing is the hydrator. I've had a lot of us telling me that they want to get the hydrator. Please, by all means, don't get a dehydrator now. You are going to get a dehydrator later. In fact, when it's time to get a dehydrator, I'm not the one that will tell you to get or not to get. You by yourself will know that it's time to get a dehydrator. You are just starting. I wouldn't want you to invest so much. You are trying a new market. You don't know what will sell and what will not sell. Okay, so if you are starting with three products, just start small and let the market decide for you which product they want. And then you now know if your product needs a dehydrator or not, right? So because of course it's not all product that needs dehydrator, but dehydrator is very good. As a matter of fact, personally I use dehydrators for my spices, kind of prolong the shelf life and also retain the natural ingredients. If you are using dehydrator to dehydrate product like your okazi, your onubu, sorry, bitter leaf, right? It will preserve its natural nutrients and it can last for over a year. Yes, I'm not hyping it. It can last for over a year. That's the work of a dehydrator. And that's why on your labeling, I insist that on your labeling, I
Pap
always
ma.
insist that if you are
We
doing
use pap.
please, there'll be room for question and answer. Let's just mute, please. When it's time for question and answer, we'll all get to ask our questions. Okay, so dehydrator retains its natural nutrients, especially veggies, right? I've seen my mentees that all she does for export is veggies. Name them: ukazi, utazi, saint leaf, um vegetable ugu, all types of vegetable, efirin. Yes, we call it scent leaf. Yoruba call it efirin, I think. All types of veggies. That's all she does. She dehydrates and sends them. And so far the market has been good. She just does veggies and the shelf life, it lasts for like a year, 6 months. And when the people use it, no complaint. But when you sun dry your veggies, it loses its natural nutrient. You see, the color is not as green and fresh like the one that is dehydrated. The color is somehow, and it doesn't last for so long, right? That's why it's important to dehydrate. Now, like I said, I'm not advising anyone to go and start investing in dehydrator. No, you can use, for those of us in Lagos, I know a company that has the dehydrator processing centers where they have so many dehydrator in like 4 5 places in Lagos. So for instance, I have a mentee that does pap. She brings corn from the west and take it there. They select it, sieve it, wash, dry, ground, process into powdered form, sieve again, dehydrate, and they even give her the shelf life, how long it will last, and then she picks up and package. Okay, so you can leverage on these commercial dehydrators that we have in Lagos. I'm not saying just go to any dehydrator where they have dehydrator that you don't know how hygienic it is. These people I'm talking about are NAFDAC certified. They still get inspected by NAFDAC every now and then. In fact, the Lagos State government is kind of the health sector in the Ministry of Health is kind of regulating them and even sponsored them to get more, funded them to get more of these dehydrating centers for production. So their standard there is very high when it comes to quality. Okay, so you can leverage on something like this in other states in Nigeria. I'm not sure if there's something like this. If they don't have such commercial dehydrator that is very neat and all, you can look for other product that don't need dehydrator and focus on them, because in all honesty you don't need it now. By the time you've done your first, second, third exports and you see that the demand is growing every single day, then you can now get a dehydrator for yourself. You can now get a dehydrator for yourself, right? Or if you don't even have where to dehydrate, you can get a mini dehydrator. Even though it's slow, but you can start from there, and then with time you scale. But it's really good to dehydrate those products that need drying, okay, because it prolongs the shelf life and it retains the product's natural nutrients. Okay, then I talked about your shipping cost. You need to also right from now start budgeting for shipping, how much you'll be spending for shipping, so you know if it's going to be profitable. So the markets I'm going to be, one of the markets I'm introducing to us is the European market and the US market and UK market. So I'll be analyzing shipping costs to some of those locations. So you factor them in. But please remember that I'm going to mention a certain figure does not mean that that's the exact figure it's being shipped. Shipping fee fluctuates, especially now that it's December period. It's not fixed, right? It can be this price today, tomorrow is another price. So I'm just giving you the price currently between this week price, right? uh So we have two types of shipping. We have doorstep shipping, and we have pickup or consolidation shipping. Doorstep means that your buyer is, you are going to deliver the price or the fee you are giving your buyer is inclusive of delivery to your buyer's location or the address your buyer gave you. And of course, doorstep is higher than pickup. Pickup means when it arrives the country, the logistic company in that country, they will call your buyer to either come and pick up, or your buyer will pay for clearing and then also pay for delivery from the shipping company to his or her location. The price is not fixed. Okay, so for what's it called now, for UK, you should be budgeting like 5,000 naira for doorstep. It could be more, right? And it varies from shipping company to shipping company. For you should budget between 5 to 7,000 for UK doorstep. If you are doing consolidation or pickup for UK, you should be budgeting between 1,700 to 2,500, or even 3,000. One from 1,700 to 2,500 generally. That's what you should be budgeting if your buyer, if what your buyer is going to be paying you is just shipping, and then when it gets there, your agent will call them to come and to pay for clearing and also pay for delivery to their doorstep. So you should budget 1,700 to 2,500. If you are doing US now doorstep, you should budget 6,000. It could be more, but budget 6,000. That's the average, right? Budget 6,000, 6,000 to 7,000 doorstep for US. And I'm just using the average cost to US because US matter be say, if it's New Jersey could be 5,500, New York could be 6,000, what's it called, Orlando, Florida could be 6,500. You understand? So but in US, between, on the average, 6,000 to 7,000. But if I were you, I'll use the highest, 7,000, just to be on the safe side. But for the past 1 month, that's what we've been paying. We're paying between 5,500 to 7K, but use 6,000, which is the average, 6 to 7,000. That's for doorstep. Then for pickup US, for pickup US, you should budget 2,700 to 3,000. Yes, but if the product you are shipping is much, logistic company can give you 2,300, 2,500. But if it's not more than, if it's less than 1,000 kg, you should budget 2,700. If it's above 1,000 kg, you should budget between 2,300 to 2,500. Let me come again. If you are going to be doing pickup, like when it arrives the location in US, your shipping company notifies your buyer, and then buyer pays for clearing and delivery to his doorstep. Okay, you should be budgeting for shipping. You should budget between 2,700 to 3,000. That is if the product you are shipping is below 1,000 kg. If it's above 1,000 kg, you should budget between 2,003 to 2,500. If it's above 1,000 kg, budget between 2,300 to 2,500. it's important you know all these things, so you already know how to, by the time you calculate all your expenses, calculate the shipping, you know whether you're in profit or not. Okay, so I think that's what you really need to know, so that you can get prepared. By now you should know the cost of your product too, and you should know the quantity you want to start with. You should also factor in local logistics. Our profit cannot be the same. Okay, take for instance, I do ginger and I buy my ginger from the north. I buy from Kaduna and then I'm going to ship it, do local logistics to Lagos. I process in Lagos, package and then ship from Lagos to UK and US. Okay, my costs now of logistics, local logistics, the expenses I'm going to incur is different from you that is staying in Meduguri, is different from you that is staying in Adamawa, Yola. You are going to spend more if you cannot source that product locally where you are. And then the cost of logistics will be different from somebody staying in Calabar. The person in Calabar will buy from Yola, sorry, from Kaduna to Calabar, and then from Calabar to Lagos. So our profit cannot be the same. So you also need to factor local logistics so that you know whether you are making profit or not. That's me, I am making profit doing ginger based on my location does not mean you in Calabar will make the same profit as me or even make profit at all. So when you factor all these local logistics, you already know whether it is profitable for you to do or not. You understand? So I think that's that for small scale export. What should things you should know and prepare for. Now we are going to move to large scale exports, and let them hold on. Question will come in after the whole meeting. Okay. Then the next thing is large scale exports. What are the things you should get ready? What are the things you should prepare for? You want to jot at this point. So for large scale export, you need a limited liability company. Very, very important. In fact, if you don't have a limited liability company, don't even bother. You cannot do large scale exports. Yes. So once you have your limited liability company, the next thing you need to do is open your NEP, get your export license from the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. And the good thing about NEPC is that within 24 hours, you've gotten your NEPC license. Personally, I feel they are the most active government organization in Nigeria. Yes, so maybe because I've benefited from grants. Most of my mentees too have benefited from grants from them because I announced and we all applied together. And I also work with NEPC. I partner with them on some projects. So I think they are very active and they are very passionate to see um, exporters, to groom exporters, right? And then for some of us who are able to secure large scale export contracts that you can handle, NEPC can actually help finance it if they see the viability of that contract. So please, when you secure large scale contracts, feel free to reach out to me. I know my schedule can be very tight. I know I can be busy, but we can actually schedule a meeting either physically in my office or via call so that we can discuss extensively and plan and strategize. As I speak with you, there's one of my mentee that secured a contract, right? And we've worked on it. The bank are financing that project. Please, someone needs to mute. Let me mute the person. Is it Lucy? I think.
I'm muted, please.
Okay. All right.
No, you are not muted. Okay, you're just mute now.
Okay. So, um, where did I stop? Yes, one of my mentees secured an export contract that is going to run for 1 year and renewable the next year after 1 year, right? And he could not finance it. And he said, Madam Joy, he wants partnership. And me, I'm looking at that contract. It's huge. So I had to reach out to NEPC, I had to reach out to the bank, but the bank seemed to be very fast. The bank seemed to be very fast, and they've gone through the LC, they've reached out to the buyer's bank, they are processed. In fact, the bank have seen the contract. They've verified if the buyer has that kind of money in his account over there. The LC is confirmed irrevocable LC, and the bank seem to be okay with everything. And the financing is happening next week, and I'm so happy. So if you have such contract that you know, this one it passed me, feel free to let me know. If any PC cannot help, there are NGOs too I partner with that can finance this. Okay, their NGO, they all they need to do is look at the contracts, look at everything. If there is something they are okay, you guys can agree on percentage, right? And then they finance, you go ahead, do the deal as far as their court is there. Of course, you agree and sign that this will be their court. If you are okay, they go ahead and finance the project. So I'm just saying this so that you can reach out to me when you are able to secure large scale order that is beyond you, right? So you need your NEPC license. Please, by all means, have your NEPC license. It's just this year that they've not given grant. NEPC have been giving grant though. Most of you are not aware, or some of you are aware. They've been giving grants, and it's only those that have, because sometimes I get slots. Okay, so it's only those that have this NEPC license that get to um actually get these grants, right? So but you need your NEPC license. It costs 13,500, but of course you are going to pay some bank charges, and with the bank charges everything should cost 13,800, right? Yes, 13,800 approximately with bank charge. So it's not even up to 14,000 to get it. And you get it within 24 hours. So if you process on Friday, you are getting it on Monday. You process Saturday, Sunday, you get on Monday. But if you process during the week, like on Monday, by Tuesday, you are getting your export license. So you need to get your export license. Documents like certificate of origin, clean certificate of inspection, custom clearance, all those other phytosanitary, fumigation, bill of lading, they are not documents you get beforehand. They are documents you get when you want to ship. Okay, it's a one-off document on every shipment. Then your export proceed account is only when you want to ship, like you've signed contracts, buyer have given you LC or whatever, you've agreed to ship, the contract has been sealed and signed, and then you've given commercial invoice that has been signed by both parties. In fact, it's the details on the commercial invoice and contract that you use to open your ex NSP accounts. Okay, I don't want to complicate things. Maybe we'll create another day to talk about this export proceed accounts, right? But NSP is at the point of shipping that you process it. So it's not like something you just go and open the account and you know you open the accounts ahead of time. No, it's when you sign your contract that you do all these things. We'll make out another day to talk about it. But the basic thing you need for your exports now is your limited liability, your NEPC license, and then depending on the product you want to export. Okay, so if you are going to be doing, I have mentees who are doing solid minerals like lithium, okay, like tin and tantalite, right? You may need to get an exploration license from Ministry of Mines and Steel. Okay, that's if you are going to be doing solid mineral. Aside the NEPC license, you still need to get your exploration license from Ministry of Mines and Steel. I think I'll make out time to teach how to get it. But that one is not as easy as NEPC. That's why I said NEPC, theirs is straightforward. They're not like NAVDAC, right? So, but if you are not doing solid mineral, all you need is your NEPC license. Then you need to be sure of your products. You need to have at least 100 tons of that product. Be sure of where you can get 100 tons of that product. That if I call you today and tell you to bring to supply me 100 tons, you know where to get the 100 ton. You need to be sure of price and be updated. because buyers can come at any time, and when they ask you price, you need to give updated price. Also, depending on the country you want to ship to, you need to contact shipping company like MSC, Costco, Hapag-Lloyd, Mask, and the like. You can go online and get their emails. You can check them online, Google the company, go to their website, get their email, and find out rates, shipping rates to those companies you intend shipping, or you are targeting buyer, or most likely your buyers are going to come from. It's important because when buyers contact you for large scale order and they tell you to give them FOB CIF price, you don't want to be telling them to wait for 5 hours, 10 hours, 2 days, give you 3 days. You understand? So every other week you can just try and get updated with shipping rates, so that when buyer calls, you know the price of your product, you know the estimated shipping fee to that location, and you can easily factor how much is going to cost you, for how much FOB price would be and how much CIF would be. And don't forget to always check online for the international market price of that commodity. Okay, check for international market price so you are sure if that product is profitable. Someone like me, no matter the demand of soya bean I have for export, I will not even deal. I will not even think twice about it. As the person is contacting me, Joy, do you have soya bean? Even if it's 1 million ton, it's very I'll tell you no, I'm not dealing, because I mean soya bean locally, the price it's sold locally is already higher than the international market price. So how much do I want to make selling soya bean to the international market, for crying out loud? Why? Because I always confirm price every other week. So I know how much soya bean is selling. I know the international price of soya bean because I always check online. I have friends staying in US where they produce soya bean in bulk, and I know how much it's selling as a commodity there. Okay. So I know it's not even profitable, because here now the price locally is already have not even factor local logistics, loading, bagging, transport to the port. Then I'll now start paying all those outrageous fees at the port. You understand? So where is the profit? So I know it's not doable. That's why you need to find out how much your product is, because market fluctuates. Commodity market is not fixed. You need to find out how much it is. You need to find out the shipping cost. And you also need to get like a freight forwarder standby that can also be updating you on how much all those the shipping cost in the port, or just you have a fee, you already know the fee your freight forwarder is going to charge you for everything. You understand? So you also need a freight forwarder that you would be reaching out to update you on how much is the cost. Take for instance, this my mentee, I told you that he'll be getting funding from one of the banks next week. He already has a freight forwarder that has billed him 200K for everything. You understand? So you need to factor freight forwarders cost. In that freight forwarders cost, it also contains all those phytosanitary, clean certificate of inspection from Neroli, and all those fumigation, certificate of origin from Nasima. All the costs, including the charge, everything is included in in the freight forwarders fee. You understand? So you have to find out. Then you also find out shipping company, how much it is, how much they are charging, so that when buyer or order comes, okay, you know shipping fee, you know how much for clearing and forwarding, how much your clearing and forwarding agent is charging, and of course it's inclusive of all those documentation at the port. Okay, you know how much the cost of your goods is, you know how much from the source to the port, the cost of transportation, and all those charge that you may incur on the road from all these agboro that collect produce fee and the like. You already know all that, right? So you need to budget all those things, have an overview, start doing your assignments now. If you are not close to those locations, you call me. I stay in Lagos, but I've been able to familiarize myself with this because when I started, it wasn't easy. I used to call. I will call people in the east or truck drivers to tell me how much from here to here. So I already know how much I'm going to spend. So find out all these things. All these things will help you to budget and know if this business is even profitable or not. In fact, by the time you have an idea of how much these things cost, when order comes and buyer is telling you they want to pay $35, you already know if you can deal or not. You already know if it's profitable or not. And you don't delay the buyer in giving response. You don't keep the buyer waiting. In fact, if the longer you keep the buyer waiting, the buyer knows that this person na JJC doesn't know what he or she is doing. So trust me, you don't want to keep buyers waiting. That's why you have to do your homework so that you already know whether this thing or cashew is what I can do or what I cannot do. You understand? So that's it for budgeting for large scale export. So your NEPC, your limited liability is all you need. There are some certifications too that you may need depending on the product you want to export. So you also find out if your type of product needs like an extra certificate. Like I mentioned, those that are doing solid mineral. It may not be solid mineral, it might be um what's it called, maybe you are doing palm kernel shell and that country requested for another form of documentation, so you need to also get it. So I don't know your product, so you need to find out your type of product, if there's an international certificate that is needed for it. And sometimes different countries and their policies, there are some country that need a particular documentation for you to bring in that product to their country. Meanwhile, that same product another country may not need it. Okay, so you may not know. So you need to also do your research. Of course, I've mentored you, but you yourself still need to do more research on your product. You need to know your product, where your product is accepted, where is not accepted, if there are country that require special documents for your product or not. That one now is your own assignment. Countries that have high demand for it, how they prefer it to be packaged, how they prefer it to be labeled. You understand? If you are taking products now to Asian country, if that halal is compulsory, you need to also do your research and also find how to do your halal and all of that. Very, 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 very important. So now that we've talked about that, the next thing we want to do now is the market. Remember I said we've moved to the practical phase of our training. Now, um I want to officially introduce us to markets we can now start selling. But of course, all the things I listed today is what you need to get ready and prepare for you to start selling in this market. Okay, so of course I'm introducing you guys to this market, but I'm not saying you should go and package broom and bring tomorrow without um proper packaging, proper labeling, proper whatever, and you just bring and think you will sell. No, it doesn't work like that. That's why I mentioned all these things so that you can prepare. Okay, so at this point too, you may want to start jotting. So we have the African markets that you can sell. When I say African market, these African markets now, our targets or the stores we have available is in US and in UK. Now, in US and UK, the people we are supplying now, their stores, African stores, and then we work with distributor. And one of the, in fact, the distributor for the US and UK markets will be with us on Thursday. We'll be having a meeting with us on Thursday next week. Between Wednesday and Thursday, I'm not so sure, but I'll fix date and announce and drop link. And then of course he's going to be telling us how he will be off taking from us and all of that. But I'll just give us a brief overview how we can start selling using this distributor. So we have a distributor that we are working with. He's a Nigerian, right? So he has access to over 200 stores in US, UK, and more recently he added Belgium to the list. So he works with stores and shops abroad, and what he does is when you package these products you send to him, he gives us a date. That's how we do it. So for instance now, he will give you dates on the 20th to ship. So it means that latest on the 18th your product should be in their warehouse in Lagos. Okay, they do both sea and air. So if it's air shipping now to US, they will announce that on the 20th they are shipping. Oh, on the 18th your product must be in their warehouse. So that's warehouse. Now they are going to check your products, if it's okay. If you said you brought 1 kg, they'll measure it for you and then give you a receipt to show that they received so products. This is how much is being sold. This is how much will be paid in dollar into your domiciliary account, and then the dates for payment. When we started, they pay every 2 weeks, but as I'm speaking now, the policy has changed to every 1 month, sorry, every 30 days. That's how it is being run. They just issued a new agreement telling us now that it's every 30 days. It could be before 30 days, but maximum 30 days. It doesn't exceed 30 days. So that's how they operate. So how do you partner with them? One of the ways you can partner with them is, of course, I mentioned labeling. Your labeling has to be good. Your products has to be very, very good quality product that meets international standard. In fact, before you ship with them, you are going to bring your products, and for testing they will test your product, check your packaging, because they are selling for you and they are collecting commission. So it doesn't make sense sending products that they are not, the quality is not good, they are not going to sell, because the more they sell for you, the more they make commission. That's why they try their best to push your product to the market and make sure you sell. So they don't want to push nonsense, because if they push product that is not good, it also affects them, right? So you are going to bring sample of your product. You can decide to package the sample in 100 gram, 50 gram, 25 gram, and send to them. They take 2 weeks to test. They check the content, they keep it because they want to check the shelf life. Okay, they check the packaging, and then they send you your result and correction. So if there's any need for correction, they'll let you know. Okay, where there's need for correction, they'll let you know. Where there's room for improvement, they let you know. The contents of your product, if it's too pepperish, if it's too this, if it's too that, they'll let you know. So they'll do it in PDF and send to you via email or WhatsApp. They'll send to you, and then you yourself, you will effect the correction. This particular distributor is very, anyway, we are going to hear from him directly. He's very, very conscious when it comes to quality, very strict when it comes to quality. He's not concerned about the crowd. He's after quality. Okay, so he's not even in a hurry to do business with anybody. What he cares about is quality. If you produce quality products, he will hold you tight, right? So that's the essence for the testing, because in the past when everybody just bring and then the product gets there, we start having issues. Okay, so or sometimes they will even return it and tell us that the product is not good, and then you are seeing itself that your egusi is not even good, your ogbono is not good at all, right? So that's why they emphasize quality. So they test your product for you and give you results. So you effect the correction and then notify them of the correction you've made. Okay, and then you also snap the picture in HD and send them. Snap your correction. Maybe it's the labeling they corrected, you snap the new labeling, your product packaged, and then this time it's not physically, now you are sending it via email. And then it depends, sometimes they may just tell you do this correction and email them, or do this correction and send back to them. So it all depends on the distributor. When he gives you your result, he will tell you the type of correction and whether to redo and send back, or redo and send via email. So depending on your correction, you effect your correction and send back. After effecting your correction, distributor will request for your 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 full details, your name, your location, phone number, email, all of that, and then we draft contracts with the details you sent. So we draft contracts, you sign, he signs. Of course, contract is not a thing you sign just by reading. I strongly advise you give to a lawyer who will read between the lines and see if it's okay, and then you sign. After signing the contract, you're expected to start distributing. Of course, distributor will give you a date to send in your products, right? The distributor will give you a date to send in your products for export. So if they are shipping on the 20th, you already know when you are going to bring your product. If you miss that batch, that's it. Okay. And trust me, you don't want to miss the first batch. And your first export, they guarantee sales. Like, they guarantee you are going to sell out because the new products you're introducing to the market. So they guarantee sales. Okay, but subsequently, it depends on how the quality of your product the first time you introduced it to the market. Okay, so if you introduce pap and the pap sold well and everything, right, it means that the second export you are most likely going to sell well, and they themselves, they are pushing it to bigger markets, bigger stores where it's and getting more visibility. As a matter of fact, if your product sells so well, they may even pay you in advance to increase production. Like, there was a time a lady that was an elderly woman was doing tomato powder and she was not meeting up. They had to fund her to increase production because demand was really high. So if your product is good and people love it and it's selling fast, they pay in advance. They can even triple payment so that you produce in large scale, because I mean, the more you are selling, the more they make commission, and their commission is 12% of sales. So if you are after sales now, from sales, they take 12% commission. Okay, like I said before, it was every 14 days, but now it's every 30 days that they make payments. Okay, so that's that about the African market. But one of the things, to start selling with this distributor, you must have FDA. The other day I talked about FDA for those, because some persons were already telling me that they want to get their FDA and all of that. So I put details and link and payment, and some persons made comment that I attracted them to the group, and then I'm now telling them to make payment, and I'm like, FDA is not even compulsory. It depends on the market and what you want, or if you want, you know, if you want to export to this African market now in US and UK, you cannot even, this distributor will not even collect your product. Apart from that, you cannot even brand your product, take it to the airport and expect they will ship it for you. Even if they ship it for you, you think they will not confiscate it, a product that is not certified, right? So I'm not talking about FDA today because I've already talked about it, and I want to say it again, that I'm not forcing anybody to get FDA. The same way I'm not forcing anybody to get any PC license. It's totally optional, right? So the next market, okay, this African store market distributor in US, UK, and now in Belgium will be having a meeting with us next week. Okay, so he will emphasize more of how he intends distributing for us and all of that, and he will teach us a thing or two about the market. Trust me, you are going to enjoy his mentorship, right? So I'm inviting him to come on board next week, and he will tell us the next date of shipment and product he's going to take and all of that. But trust me when I say, without FDA, you cannot sell in this market. Ehen. Except you want to become a personal shopper or supplying to restaurants that cooks, right? And family and friends, individuals, and all of that. So the next market we can start selling to is the European market. So for the African market now, those of us who are interested in selling in the African market, please, after this meeting, you can just indicate in the group, and you can start the process. you can just start the process. The first step to take is getting your FDA, then getting your labeling, your pouches, getting your sample. In fact, as you are processing your FDA, you can start sending your samples. Okay. We test the samples is being tested in Abuja. The samples is being tested in Abuja. The distributor works with is connected to SMED and NAFDAC. So that's where they test your sample in Abuja. So once after this meeting, you can start sending your samples. Okay, you can just package your samples in 100 gram, 50 gram, okay, and send. The samples will not be returned. That's why I'm telling us to package in 50 gram or 100 gram max, right? Package the same way you know you want to export, because they are vetting your labeling and the content of your product. So I will give address, we send it to the location, and of course when sending, all your details will be there, because they are going to send you. From that point, they'll start communicating with you directly. Okay, so you are not paying anything extra. You are not paying. The testing is free. You are not paying for testing is free. Okay, so you are not paying for any testing. Or for those of us who are in Lagos, you can bring to my office, and then I'll find a way to send it across. Okay, so that's the first step. So from the sample you send to them, they will now tell you,
Please, ma, what? Please, me, ma.
please, after the
Excuse me,
meeting,
ma.
we'll ask question, not now. Not now, please.
Okay.
So after your sample, they will
All right,
tell
ma.
you the next step, and then till the point you start exporting. So at that point you've sent your sample, you're automatically relating with the distributor. Okay, you're automatically relating with the distributor. Of course, then the current badge now they're handling is my mentees. They already know my mentees are on board. My mentees are the next batch.
Come this way.
We've discussed already, so they are already waiting for those that will be submitting your sample, and they'll start processing for your export. So please, can we mute Madam Lucy? Please, I appreciate if you mute. I'm trying to unmute her. Okay, so the next market now that we can start working on is the European market. So the European markets, I was privileged to get a broker who introduced me to an agent that is in charge of African stores in the whole of Europe. Now, it's not one country. Okay, so all the African stores in Europe, this agency is the one in charge. They have their union, but he's the head of the African stores in Europe. So what this means is that they are the ones in charge of product that is being brought. They are the ones that regulate price. They are the ones that put in models and structures of how African stores will sell in Europe. I'm talking of Spain, talking of um, Colombia, Netherlands, and all the European markets, Germany, all the African stores there. So I got talking because I wanted to make as many markets. I want to ensure that we have enough market so that everybody decides the market they want to sell, right? So you, after analyzing all these things, you now know, oh, I have this, I have that. Where do I start from? Right? So that's why I'm going all out, and I'm still trying to bring in more distributors, more stores on board, so that we have as many as possible that we can start supplying or exporting to. So I've been talking with this agent that a broker linked me up with. We've been talking for the past 3 weeks, yeah. And just last,
Hello, ma. Please, is there a way we can record this Zoom? I had to leave now. It's very urgent. I don't know how to connect later. Is there a way we can record it, please?
is recorded.
Okay.
They'll access it. Okay, it's recorded. You get it. Don't worry. Okay, so this European market, I had to send list of products, because they said they want to see our products. How many are we? Do we have the capacity? This particular broker that linked me up to this agent is a Nigerian that has been in Spain for over 20 years, and he's a broker. He secures large scale export deals, right? So he linked me up with the agent in charge of African store, and the agent was like, "What is our supply capacity and all of that?" And I told him I have mentees I have exporters, not mentees now, exporters that are ready to start supplying, and their products are good, and you know and all of that. I sha bragged with I used all of us to brag. I used the numbers to brag, and he seemed impressed, and he said, "Okay, send in your product." So of course I didn't announce it in the group, but I sent over 80 products, up to broom. I sent up to mortar and pestle that we used to pound, local mortar and pestle. I sent it. You'll be shocked. Up to beads, shoes, bags made in Nigeria. I sent. So there is no food stuff that you think of that I didn't send. But of course, it's not limited. If there's anyone that is not on that list, I'm going to add it later. So I've sent, and they've responded to me that they'll go through the list and they'll revert back. I also sent price lists. I made sure to hike the price. Of course, business is about negotiation, so that when they give me their price lists, they will be fair enough because they know how they already see the price I gave them. So I'm hoping to get feedback from them on Monday. But my broker has assured me that this market has come to stay. We've been having series of meeting back and forth. So the long and short of this whole story is that the European market is something I'm currently working on, and we're almost done because we've been going back and forth doing some form of documentation and all of that. And I'm expecting feedback on Monday. From the response of this agent, he seemed to be interested because he cared a lot. He was emphasizing on volume, volume, and volume. And I told him that we have the volume, right? And I want to hope we have the volume, right? So we are not talking about one market now, we are talking about the whole of Europe, African stores in Europe. So what this means is I'm going to be updating us with the buyer's response on Monday. So buyer is most likely going to respond with his price list. And then once they respond with their price list, I'll share the buyer's price list in the group. So you check your products on the list and check the price it's being sold, or the buyer agreed to offtake from us, right? To be supplying those African shops. And after that, if it's something you can do, you just let me know. Okay, so for now, we've not discussed documentation, but um, when we finalize on Monday, I will update us on the next step regarding the European market. But my broker assured me that we are going to enjoy the market, and is going to ensure that we get a fair price that will be profitable from us, because he's also a Nigerian and understands um, how the market in Nigeria is. So he assured me. So on Monday, I will update us on the group regarding the European market. Then we have another store that we can start selling, Maza Maza stores. Maza Maza store. So this Maza Maza store is like an African shop. It's an e-commerce platform actually. African store, Nigerian store. So the person who created it is a Nigerian, not based in Nigeria, anyways. But the whole idea is that so that when you think of made in Nigerian product or African product, anything African, you can get it from that store. So when you crave anything or you need anything from Africa, whether herbal supplement, artwork, whatever, cosmetics, and you want it from African origin or Nigerian origin, right? You can log into that store and get it there. And the good thing about this store is that for now is 2,000 naira to register, and the sales on commission is 6%. So it's not bad. So if you are asking me, I'll say most of us should start here. So the thing is, once people place order from this store, within 24 hours, you'll be paid. Even before the goods get to the location of the buyer abroad, you'll be paid. So you have to warehouse your products with them in Nigeria, somewhere in Lagos. Okay, you warehouse your products with them. So once order comes, they pick it up from there and then ship. They have affiliation with different shipping companies all over the world. So they pick up and ship for you and pay you directly into your domiciliary account in 24 hours. Right? But if your product is not stored with them, what that means is that once order is placed, and that's when you now bring to their warehouse, you'll be paid in 15 days. Okay, so that's how they operate. So anything, they are not restricting you. Is it shoes? Is it bags? Is it cosmetics? Is it food stuff? Is it fashion? Whatever. You are free to list out. Okay. Sorry, you are free to list in this platform. And this particular, the owner of the store will also be addressing us next week. We've not fixed it, but by Monday I'll be updating us when he'll be coming to address us, so that we can start listing on the platform as soon as possible. Okay. So on between Monday to Friday, the founder of Maza Maza store is not based in Nigeria. So work out a time that works for both parties. And then we can start listing our products there as soon as possible, because honestly it's the cheapest amongst all I've seen. Then we have Amazon. We can start selling on Amazon too, right? So for those of us who are interested to sell on Amazon, here is an opportunity. There's a company I work with that can get you listed. But first off, they do what we call product analysis. They analyze your products and tell you the estimated profits. They show you other vendors that have been doing it, how much they are making, you know, and then they recommend products for you to export. They actually analyzed my own products. I'm not talking about export and sell. Oh. So far, reports from there is not good. I'm talking about my closest friend. I am my When my closest friend started using them, I was skeptical, but my friend is making crazy figures monthly. If I mention figures on the average she's making, you think I am hyping or exaggerating. No. In fact, I may have to invite her in one of our meetings like this to come talk to us, right? But this company actually did the analysis, and then analysis takes 7 days, but it can be lesser. Mine came out, my analysis, when I did analysis with them, it came out in 24 hours. But they
Please,
give you
tell
seven.
us the tell us the amount.
All this, the questions will come in later. Please, I beg you, don't disrupt me after the meeting. Okay, you have ample time to ask your question, please. The meeting is being recorded. Okay, so as I was saying, they analyze your product for you and recommend products that most likely is going to sell well. And not just that, they don't just list your products, they also help to push traffic, right? They push traffic, they do search engine optimization. And in fact, in 3 months, you should be making crazy figures. You don't want to know figures that we are making or my mentees are making. You understand? But it's not free. Anyways, it's not free. I think, okay, about a week or two, he addressed one of the batches here on getting listed, the wealth, and all of that. You understand? So it's not free to get listed, but this whole process to list till the point your product is shipped to Amazon warehouse and your store goes live and they start driving traffic and you making crazy figure takes 6 weeks. 6 weeks. As a matter of fact, it could be less. The current batch of my mentees processing for Amazon are their products are leaving first week of December because their store is will be live by ending of this month. Sorry, by first week of December. Can you hear me? Okay. So by first week of December, their product should be shipped to Amazon, and that's that same
Yes, we
week.
can hear you. We can hear you. The network is bad. It's breaking.
Yeah, sorry. So by first week of December, their store should go live. So they tell you 6 weeks, but
We
it
can't hear
could.
you at the moment, though.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
We can hear them.
Can you
The
hear
network
me?
is breaking. I can't hear very well. I can't hear you.
Hey God,
Auntie Joy.
what do we do?
Auntie Joy, don't leave us walk out.
I no leave now. Network bad.
She can't be talking when you are talking. Now, she you're through on mute so that she can talk.
Let them on mute. We have to.
I think she has disconnected.
I didn't disconnect. So can you hear me?
Oh, she's there. Yes.
I never disconnect. I think it's network. Can you all hear me? Hey, I'm not sure they can hear.
We are hearing them. We are not sure.
Really? So we can't hear.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Just wait.
Sister Joy.
Oh, network.
We can't hear a thing from you, Sister Joy. Do something about it, please.
Maybe
You
now.
are practically mute to us.
Let them wait.
Please, can you just hold on? My network is bad.
You muted, though. Oh,
We don't need them.
maybe she's trying to work on it. That's on her distance. That's why she muted. I think it's network.
It's network.
Yeah.
It's network. Oh, I'm sorry. It's network.
They just refresh. Just calm down. When they calm down, nobody will network in their affect. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Yes. Just started.
Hey.
Yes, you can hear it, yeah.
All right.
Hallelujah. Can we can love?
All right. Let's continue. We're almost coming to the end of this session. Remember, we are going to be learning how to run adverts today. So, yeah. So the process of selling on Amazon, from the analysis to branding, listing of products on Amazon, pictures, videos of your products, search engine, and all of that takes 6 weeks. It could be less, as a matter of fact. So everything takes 6 weeks. And the good thing about this company is that they manage your account, right? They manage your account, and they guarantee sales, because honestly, result has been amazing. The result has really been amazing. So they guarantee sales. They guarantee sales, and they help you push traffic. In fact, the essence of the analysis, so that you don't just go and trade products blindly and you are not getting sales, or you don't just go and list products and you are not getting sales. There's an art of selling on online, and even on Amazon. I'm not sure. Please come.
What's that? It's connected now.
Okay, there's an act of selling on Amazon, right? So this company ensures that you don't just get listed there. Their duty is to make sure that they drive traffic so that you are selling. Okay, so that you are not just even selling one, two, three, you are selling in great figures. So that's their duty, right? So for those of us who are interested to start selling on Amazon, the first step you need to take is to first of all analyze the product you want to sell. Okay, because there are times that the product you feel that is profitable, or the product you feel that we sell, may not be the product that we sell very well on Amazon. And there are some product that sells better online, while there are some product that sells better in physical shop. Take for instance, my friend does hair cream, sorry, hair growth products on Amazon, and she's selling very well, but she's not selling as much as that in African shops. So that's the essence of this analysis. You may feel that what's it called, okpa flour rather, or bambara flour will sell better on Amazon, but it may sell better in African food store. You understand? You may feel crayfish may sell better as food store, but it may sell better as animal feeds, or under in Amazon under animal feeds category. So that's the essence of this analysis. They analyze and tell you where your product is most likely going to sell best, what's the estimated profit, what's your other competitors, the figures they are making, how long they've been there, what they did, if they are running adverts or not, and all of that. They analyze it, and then amongst those products they tell you which one to start with or which one to do, and how much you are supposed to be making in 3 months. Okay, that's the essence of the analysis. So after the analysis, they themselves will tell you the next stage. After that stage, they tell you when to ship. After that stage, they start driving traffic and all of that. But in all of this, you need to have a domiciliary account. If you don't have, try and get open a domiciliary account. And please, it's not a big deal to open a domiciliary account. Okay, just walking into any bank, let them know you want to open a domiciliary account. When I opened for Union and Zenith, I have about four dom account, but the others I used $100 to open. But Union and Zenith, they opened for me zero, like I didn't have to deposit any money. In fact, for Union it took me like 3 months before I remembered to deposit, and I didn't deposit much. It was $20 I did, right? So there are banks that you can open a dom account with zero naira, sorry, with $0, zero nothing. Okay, so you can go to the bank and let them know you want to open a dom account. Please, if you have a business name, open it in your business name. I know why I'm saying this, so that in case there is an opportunity for grants, loans, and funding for your business, sometimes they want to see proof. That's why your business account needs, you have to be trading with your business account. You never can tell the opportunity that will come, and they need proof, right? So that's one of the advantage. And then when I say open your, have an FDA account, the reason you need the FDA is even because you need what we call Duns and Bradstreet before you, Duns and Bradstreet number, before you can get your FDA number, right? Duns and Bradstreet number, you need it before you can get your FDA. With that Duns and Bradstreet number, you can actually use it to apply for grants. That Duns and Bradstreet number shows that your business is recognized in US and all of that, and that's the number you use to process your FDA. Okay, so the total package I gave in the group is inclusive of Duns and Bradstreet number, and without your Duns and Bradstreet number, you are recognized as an international business owner, and you can use it to apply for grants, for loans, for funding for your agri business. And imagine you are trading with your business account, your domiciliary business account. I've applied for grants in US before, where they requested for proof that you are doing business. The savior I have is I have to go and show my domiciliary and print my bank statement from my dom account, so they actually see I am trading. Money is going in and coming out, whether it's much or it's not much. As far as money is going in and coming out and is in my business account, they know I'm trading. And sometimes that's just the basis of getting this grant we are talking about. You can get grant of $50,000. Yes, my friend got December $50,000. You can get $20,000 depending on the type of grant what you applied for. And remember, this is agribusiness. If you can prove to them that you are into processing, you are into this, you are into that, and how it's going to affect the economy or empower other people and all of that, why not? You will get it. So that's the advantage of opening a domiciliary account, especially in your business name. But for those of us who don't have a registered business and may not have it for some time till you are stable, or for those who are starting as personal shopper and all of that, you can have a domiciliary account in your own name, in your own name, right? It can be in your own name just for a start. But the truth is, as you grow, try and have a registered name. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can.
Okay, thank God.
Yes.
Okay. So as you start growing in your business, you can now register your business.
Yes.
Yes. You can now register your business and
Can
have,
hear you. We can hear you. Go on.
okay, and have a domiciliary account. Okay. So that's that about African shop, European market, Maza Maza stores, and Amazon. So with all this now that I've listed, you just take this weekend. We are not having any training or meeting or whatever tomorrow. So take the weekend to just think it through, pray about it. Is it African market you want to sell? What and what do I need? Am I ready to get my FDA now, or should I wait for later? You make up your mind. Do I want to work with distributor? Is it 12% commission is charging okay for me? Do I hold on? Make up your mind, think it through. On Monday, we'll be back to discuss all that. The European market is still pending. I'm giving us feedback, but from the look of things, it's going to work out. And I also just also puts me in prayer as I'm working to bring the European market on board. It's a huge market. Remember, we are not dealing with one country, we are dealing with the whole of Europe. And somehow God connected me with this agent, and the agent is not a Nigerian, he's an African American based in Europe and managing the whole of these stores. It's not easy to get connected to this kind of person, but God connected me to him, and just put it in prayer. But from the look of things, it's going to work out. So on Monday, I'll be announcing the feedback. If he's giving us price list and date of supply and any other thing, be rest assured I'll be updating us in the group on Monday, and the next step to take to start supplying to the European market. Yeah. Then the Maza Maza store is something I would want us to, key in as soon as possible. I think I'll be sharing details of this store today. I'm also going to be inviting the CEO to come have a session with us and, walk us through um, how we can get started, and then you get to ask the CEO questions directly, and all this is going to happen next week. By Monday, I'll be giving us a date when we'll be having the meeting with the CEO of Maza Maza store. He's based in Europe. Yeah. So on Monday, I'll be giving us updates regarding this store. It's something we can start now, but I would want us to hear directly from the horse's mouth and details of registration. Well, for everybody, if you ask me, I'll be recommending Maza Maza stores to start with. I mean, you can get listed in 24 hours, right? And it's just 2,000. It will not be 2,000 forever. You guys are my mentees, so I'm getting discount for us. I know we are newbies, we are very rich and all, but you can use it to test the market and see how this market is like, right? So you will start, just in fact, everybody is starting from Maza Maza store. You've sacrificed 10K for training, so 2,000 is not a big deal to register. And I don't think 6% commission that they are charging for every sales is bad, if you ask me, as far as they are making money. And then it's not only food. So those of us who are into wigs, hair, shoes, bags, African fabrics, everything, all things African, food stuff, whatever, name them, please list them on that store. I mean, they are showcasing out this store to the whole world. They are running aggressive they are driving mad traffic. So sales is like guaranteed there. right? Is a new project, and even Jumia Boss is involved in this, so it's huge. So everybody will take advantage of it. I will drop some details in the group, but I know this week, by God's grace, we are launching immediately after the CEO address us. He will drop link and everybody immediately will get started by God's grace. Then the Amazon store, if you have the funds, I think you should leverage on this platform. It's a huge market, most people don't know, and it's beyond listing your product. Traffic is being driven to this store, so sales is assured. I am there, my mentees are there, and honestly, it's worth it if you ask me. So African store, European market, Maza store, Amazon is what I listed that we can start in. And I said Maza store is what we should be starting this week, latest by God's grace, because it's easy. But I would tell us to wait after the CEO addresses us immediately. If not that day, the next day, everybody should rush and go and upload products there. Yeah. So I'll be bringing more markets as we continue. We're already a team, we're already a community. I want to see us at the top. So any deals I get, any more markets I see, I'll be bringing so that we can leverage on as many stores as possible. So imagine you are selling US, UK using this our African market distributor. You're selling in European market, you're selling Maza, you're selling Amazon. Maldives, Bahamas, Dubai, we can go and chill there by God's grace. So yeah. Okay, then one last thing before we start discussing about ads, right? Is local supply. I've said it in the group before that we have demand for over 2,000 metric ton. As a matter of fact, it's 20,000 metric ton of palm kernel shell. So it's just me trying to be more modest. That's why I'm saying 2,000 metric ton of palm kernel shell. The buyer is on my neck. It's for export though. It's for export. So, but we are not exporting because this person already has the deal to export. So he can't meet up, obviously. So he needs people that will supply him in on airports. And if the quantity you are bringing is much or you have is much, you can come and pick up, right? So the palm kernel shell must be washed and dried. So if you have washed palm kernel shell and dried palm kernel shell, please send it to me. If you have up to 500 ton, 1,000 ton, this exporter will even pray for you. All right. So the people who are buying are from Poland and they're already in Nigeria as we speak. And he doesn't seem to get it. Most of the places he wants to get this palm kernel shell is not sorry, at the places that this water whatever happen, and even at that is not getting up to the required amount. So as many of us who have washed palm kernel shell that is dried, send me videos, send me pictures, let me send across, tell me your price. There is one of us here who told me he has about 250 tons, and I've reached out um to the exporter, and he told me that he's sending the man's contract tomorrow evening by God's grace. So and the man assured me that he has palm kernel shell, so washed one. So if you have the palm kernel shell washed one and you have the capacity, send pictures, let me know, tell me your company name so that they can forward you the contract for supply. Any quantity you have, but be sure you have that quantity. Don't tell us that you have this and you don't have it, right? So if your capacity is 200 ton, 100 ton, 50 tons, let me know, show proof, show video, and send across so they can draft contract, send. And in that contract you go through it. If it's not okay, you do yours, you guys sign, and then you do it. It's a local supply anyways. Then for those of us who are the first 15 to join, that are assured of doing exports, now is the time. I'm going to be adding you guys to a group where we are going to be talking about our supply and kickstarting as soon as possible, right? So With that, this meeting is I think I'm done. So yeah. So I will be giving us 15 minutes to attend to questions. I'll be attending to questions in the next 15 minutes. Please, when you want to ask, make your question brief, straight to the point, no long story, so I can attend to us, so that the Facebook ads person will come and take us on how to run Facebook ad that target buyers in other country. So the floor is open. Thank you. We have 15
Thank you
minutes. So
very
what's
much,
the time?
Madam Joy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, this is Fumilola talking from Georgia.
Okay.
My question is about the Amazon. We spoke, I think, about 2 days. It should register on Amazon, but you've not been able to do that to your busy schedule. So I really appreciate if that can be done
I didn't hear
for
what you
those that are
said,
ready
though.
for the Amazon.
I didn't hear what you said, ma.
We spoke about 2 days ago about that you are going to create a platform for it for those that are ready, but
Okay.
it has not been created yet.
Yes, yes. I wanted us to have this meeting first before I later changed my mind. Sorry, I
Then
didn't mention
you
that to the
still
group.
talked about the money that you're still pleading with the guy to reduce the price.
Mm. No problem. I'll create the group today. So I'll create the group, the Amazon group. Those who are interested in selling on Amazon, I'll create the link, and then I'll share it in the group. You guys will join, and then maybe I would have to invite the fast media people to come to be in the group too, so that all the necessary information will be in that group. Will interact, and those who want to get started immediately in the platform. So thank you, ma. I will do that today, ma, unfailingly. I give you my word.
And then because I've been talking with him and he's asking about the analysis stuff that I should send the money, but I'm holding on because of what you
Okay. Please, I would advise that you don't go without me, because we are getting discount as a group. Like, someone went and was discussing with him, and then the price he called, I was like, this is the
okay.
normal price he gives to others. Now we have agreed that for my mentees, he's going to give us discounts because we are coming as a group, you understand? So that's the essence of this group. I will advise that once I create the group, you go there, so that we'll be
Okay.
discussing, we'll agree as a group and meet as a group. You understand? Because there's a discount for group members. Yeah, so I'll create the group, ma. Thank you.
All right.
Who else?
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. For those
Ma,
who
you
want to sell food stuff on
you spoke
Amazon,
about
you need FDO. Yes, please go on.
I know ma me outlet.
Okay, Carlat, go ahead. Carlat, please go ahead.
Concerning the drydator ma,
Yeah.
I want to ask, yes, I want to ask like how long will it take for beans flour and pap pacifier if drydated?
It depends on the size of your dehydrator. There's a friend of mine that has this small dehydrator that dehydrates for like 12 hours. There is another one that can
No,
dehydrate for
no, the
three.
one I want to get
I'm not hearing you.
that can dehydrate for like how long ma?
You said? I don't know the size of your dehydrator. You understand? It all depends on the size. There are some size of dehydrator that if you want to do pap within 3 hours, you are done. There are some also, so those small size, there are some that 8 hours, 9 hours, 12 hours for pap. You understand? So it depends on the size. There are some that you just keep overnight to dehydrate. So it depends
Which
on
is
the
not
size.
So assuming is the one that takes like 3 hours to dehydrate. So
Yeah.
that was how long will it take for the products
How long will it take for the product to do what, ma?
to expire. I guess
by?
the shelf life. That's what happened.
Yes.
Okay, in all honesty, I can't say for all products. I can only tell you for my product. For product like pap, I know it can take between 10 months to 1 year, the flour. But I can't say for other
Okay.
product. I can only tell you on product that I myself I do, or I know from experience those who are doing it. I can't say for all product, but I know for pap flour it stays between 10 months, 1 year, and even more sometimes. But on the average, you
For
just say 1 year.
being flour, it takes 10 months.
Uh-huh.
For being flour, yeah.
Yes.
9 to 10 months maximum.
Okay.
So
So you
hello,
see, I didn't even know for beans flour.
hello, ma. Please, I have a question.
And I don't think that bean flour need dehydrator.
No, you still need
Hello,
to
ma. Consider,
dehydrate a
please, I have a
bit.
question.
Eh.
Yes, please dehydrate. It prolongs the shelf life.
All
Okay.
right.
It's not, if you don't
So,
have it now, you can start with the normal beans flour, right? But as you grow, you are building a brand. People are knowing people are recognizing and knowing your product. You need to start dehydrating. You understand? And then if you are selling on Amazon, for example, like me, what I do, I go for the highest quality, because I don't know who will see my product. Maybe a company or a pharmacy or whatever will test my product, like it, and they will come and demand for thousands of metric ton and even pay me in advance to supply them. So if you are showcasing your product on all those international platforms, you want to give the highest quality, because you don't even know who is buying from you. I have a friend that she does what's this product again? There was this product she was doing, Iru. A company just tested it and they demanded for 1,000 metric ton. She can't even meet up with that demand. She had to reduce it to 100 tons. You understand? They paid
wow.
her in advance. She didn't want to disappoint.
Wow.
They
Okay.
also went
What?
ahead and ordered for shea butter, a pharmaceutical
You
company.
really
So you don't even know who will test your product and like it. So it's best you go. Me, I don't even look at, sometimes I don't look at price. If the product is quality enough and I'm sure I'm going to make profit no matter how little, I go ahead, because if you test my product and you like it, you are most likely going to come back or refer, or even, I mean, like the company now that tested my friend's product on Amazon, and she was not targeting company, she was just targeting end users, but somebody tested and liked it, and that particular deal changed her story. I'm telling him, as in, it took her to the next level. So that's why you don't manage quality when you want to do this thing. So for base floor, you can start normal, but with time you may have to start dehydrating, is better.
Ma.
I think
Okay, sis, this is what we are going to do. Please hold on, please hold on.
hello,
Just indicate with an emoji, so I'll be calling you.
We've already indicated. We are
Okay, let
waiting.
me let me
hello,
Look at it now.
Esther Patrick, please, can you ask your question?
Yes.
I can't attend to all questions today. It's too much.
She doesn't know Esther Patrick.
Okay,
Call her now.
Hannah Kayode, you are raising your hand. Ask your question. Can they hear me?
Ask them if they can hear.
Can you hear me?
hello, ma. Yes, I
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay.
Hello,
Johnson
please, I have a
Tare, can
question.
you ask your question? Wow.
Good
Maybe
evening,
they are
ma.
not supposed.
Hello, good evening, ma.
Good evening. Please, ma, what I want to ask is about the business export. What kind kind of name should you get? Should you also be a limited liability company?
Please, if you can get a limited liability, but if you cannot um afford it now, you can get a business name, but just know that that business name um will be for air shipping. Or you cannot do group, you cannot export like in containers with it. That's the truth. So if you want to do limited liability, you can use it for any business, but if his business name is only limited to exports that will be going through air. So if you can afford, go for limited, but if not, um business name is fine. You can just, or if you already have a business name and you're just trying to test the waters, you can start with business name, but you just be shipping through air. That's just it. Yes.
Hello,
Onyebuchi
ma'am.
favor, Onyebuchi favor.
Okay, good evening,
Good
ma'am.
evening.
My question is, first of all, the practical aspect of the class, when is it going to be?
You said what, sir?
When will the practical class take place?
When you say practical class, which, can you describe the type of class you mean by practical?
Okay, you say we need to do some practical, doctor organization, some packaging, how we can do it so that we can get it attractive. So we can come to see the ones to do, we will do it.
Okay, there's a processing and packaging class coming up. It's supposed to be on the 26th, but it's been shifted to 3rd of December. So I will announce the date, the venue, everything on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last time we talked about seeing a deal for Coca-Cola. That kind of progress.
Come again, sir. You know what? Your question, I'm not really getting you. See what you do for me. If you have bitter cola, send me your price list.
Okay. Then
All,
finally, I think I have close to 30 for now. I have capacity up to 300 tons.
is it
Sorry,
washed and
yes, 300
dried?
tons, yes. I have the capacity.
Send it to me on, send me your message on WhatsApp. I'm not hearing you.
Okay, okay.
It's
I
my
will do that.
case.
Hello, ma'am.
Kayode Hannah, please, can you ask your question?
Hello.
Hello, go on, please.
Okay, ma'am. Please, my question is, please, can you help us with, you mentioned different documents, the FDA, the NEPC, the business name, and all the rest of the documents you mentioned.
Can I do what, please?
Please, can you help us with the each of those documents? Can you help us to list their requirements out? Because to avoid a situation whereby we will be going for NEPC and NEPC will be requesting for business name, or we'll be going for FDA and FDA will be requesting for NEPC. So we should know where to start from. Is it the business name first or the NEPC? Thank you.
I think I explained a bit of this, but maybe I would explain more. I would send it to the group. The thing is, without a registered business, you cannot do your NEPC, you cannot do your FDA. So the first step is having a registered business. Whether it's a business name or a limited liability, you must first of all register your business. After registering your business, if you want to start with large scale export, you go and get your NEPC license at www.nepc.gov.ng, www.nepc.gov.ng, www.nepc.gov.ng. You go there, get your NEPC license by yourself. You don't need an agent. You can Google it. You can watch it on YouTube how to get your NEPC license. It's not hard. If you apply today, in 24 hours you get it. Please note, to get your NEPC, you need a limited liability company. Without a limited liability company, you cannot get your NEPC. You cannot use business name to get NEPC, but
Ma, please, do you have any recommendation for that?
you know what? Just send your question in the WhatsApp group so that because I'm rounding up now, we'll take one last question and that'll be it. So
Okay, please, let me ask this question direct. Let me ask some question going now. Hello? Hello?
So you answer.
Hello?
Should you be apply that?
Hello?
You know, because if you has a lot of one thing,
Abi,
let them ask their questions. Let's
so when are
Hello?
we having the class?
just
Hello? Hello, ma.
Hello?
Hello, ma.
Hello,
Hello?
go ahead, go ahead.
Hello, ma. Hello, go ahead, go ahead. Ma, please. Hello, ma. Ma, please. Hello, good evening, ma. Hello, good evening, ma. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Kayode.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Ma'am, please. I'm just coming in. Good evening, ma'am. I'm just coming in. Good evening, ma'am. And I noticed that people are already on their show, and I think it's connecting. And I think it's connecting. I don't know whether the thing was recorded.
yes.
Yes, it's
Hello?
recorded. You get the recording.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Please, I have a question. I have a question.
I've been waiting.
Hello, good evening.
I'll call you later, Darasimi. I'm
Let's see
coming.
one
Madam
Good evening. Please, my
Darasimi.
question.
one favor I've been using of our since.
Oh yeah, go
Hello,
ahead,
can I go
Mr.
ahead?
Albert.
Okay. I want to ask, if one gets the FDA,
Yeah.
the person is no longer required to do the NAFDAC, right?
No, you don't. With your FDA, you can
Okay.
export to US, UK, some part of Europe, yes. You don't need
Okay.
NAFDAC. You cannot be restricted. It's an international
Okay.
certification. In fact, if you have your
Okay.
NAFDAC, you can still not export without your FDA. So your NAFDAC will
All right.
not,
Now,
it does not even guarantee you. As in, even if you have your NAFDAC, they still will not accept your product. You must have their FDA.
that's clear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let them ask their
Madam
questions.
Darasimi, please, you can now mute.
You can now mute.
Yes. Let them do
Please, I need
just
the
do the card
contact
number.
for that. If you can throw light on the packaging for food stuff.
Start from the beginning.
I didn't hear anything,
I
ma.
didn't hear anything. Oh, I said I need the contact of those people, the vendors for packaging bags for food stuff.
Okay, for pouches and Ziploc.
Yes.
Abi Ziploc is the same thing. Okay, ma. It will be shared in the group.
Okay.
Yes, ma.
Thank you.
Okay, ma. Okay. Let me.
Don't juice it.
Ma, can I ask
You've asked question before. Oh.
I've not asked anything, no.
It is well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ask now.
Okay, ma. Is regarding that issue that you mentioned, you and this team agree with the same brothers and sisters, and you mentioned that even if you want to export it, you have to dehydrate it. Ma, how can I dehydrate it? I don't know, like because it's a kind of a soft substance. So how I don't know if you can tell me how I can dehydrate it. I don't know.
when you come for that processing training, you will see all those things there. I don't know how to tell you how to dehydrate them. You put it in dehydrator now, Abby.
Okay. But that can that one be sold in Amazon or just African store?
You can sell both. So I know someone who is making $40,000 monthly selling just locust beans on Amazon, and there are not many selling
My
it.
own is not local. I mean, my own is not local.
Your own is what?
My own is Ogiri. Ogiri, Ogiri.
You dehydrate it to
That one
powdered
I
form.
use that. How much?
You dehydrate to powder form. You can sell it. I'm not even sure anybody is doing that to Gribo in this thing. You know what? Let me not just assume. You will have to do analysis. If you're interested in selling on Amazon, join the Amazon platform that I'm going to create, and then you when it's time for product analysis, you list it, so they will tell you the potential of your product. Is the analyst that will tell you whether to sell it or not. You understand? So I don't
Okay.
think I would
Okay.
just recommend just because I know someone is doing the other seed, the Yoruba on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I
Thank you.
think, thank you. I
Okay,
know
at
we
least
have. I know we
can I
have.
ask my question?
We no go run the advert today. Okay. We'll have to
At
schedule
least
another
I want to
meeting.
ask question concerning let's drop our questions on the platform so we can do other things.
If we keep asking questions like this, that advert will not be possible today. Oh. It will take time, Abby. So let's be answering
Hello,
questions.
Sister Joy.
Go ahead, Madam Lucy. Go ahead, Madam Lucy. Madam Lucy, ask your question.
Okay. My my question. Okay, yeah, about the group listing for those who may not be able to register companies and go through all the registrations. Is there any how to partner? You know, probably I bring my product, give to in packages it or something. You know, or this is somebody's business name or whatever to do for now, pending when one is able to.
I'm struggling to hear you, ma.
Okay, I'm saying that is there any way that for those who may not be able to or have money to process papers right now, or even the name, the registration of the company, is it possible for somebody to partner and sell your product to others who are taking it out?
Sure, sure. That's why we are here as a group. Yes. That's at this stage now. We've entered the practical stage. Oh, all we should be having in that group, all our discussion should be centered on how to export, partnership, when to export, materials, how far you've gone with your research, when you want to start exporting. So yes, in the group you can discuss, you can mention it. Those who are ready to partner with you, they can, you guys can come together, use one CAC, and export. So partnership is welcome for those who don't have document for now. But me, I'm just worried about quality because I once gave somebody my document and the person messed me up in the market because she used my logo, everything, and her quality was bad. The store stopped me
Hey,
from supplying ogbono because I gave somebody all my details to do, one of my mentees. When the product got there, they said the ogbono had smell, it was not drawing, customers were complaining and all of that. And they said they don't want ogbono again. So for like three stores that those product went to, they stopped me from supplying them ogbono.
yeah.
So you
So
need to be
like this
sure
was
of
what
quality because everybody will tell you quality, but how sure are you that you are going to produce quality? So you don't go and spoil somebody's brand. And you know
okay,
how I
but
emphasize on quality.
exactly. But these low cost beans, could they accept the seed
Yes, yes, yes,
instead of
yes.
processing it?
Yes, yes. The seed will be very dry, very dry. Yes.
Hello, Sister Joy.
Yes, Madam Becky. I'm not sure
Thank
we
you so
want to
much.
run adverts today, because these questions,
We will
okay.
run. No, please let me ask this one more question, Sister Joy. Please, we'll run the advert. Please,
Okay.
my question is:
to run with the Amazon and Maza Maza.
Okay,
So
for
you need
For Maza Maza,
we need the FDA certificate and the rest of the documents.
okay, if you
So
want to
that
sell, okay, let me explain this. But I think I was trying to explain before another question came in. Someone asked documentation. Now, if you want to sell on Amazon, you need to have a registered business, right? It might be a business name, it might be a limited liability, it doesn't matter, but your business needs to be registered. If you are doing food products, food, cosmetics, animal feeds, anything consumable, you need FDA, right? But if you are not doing
network
food,
dey shupo.
hello network, I can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Hello?
Can you hear me now? Refresh, please.
Yes. Yes, we can hear now.
Okay. For Amazon, put your number here. For Amazon, you need, if it doesn't matter if it's limited liability or business name, but you must have a registered business, right? And if you are doing food stuff, animal feeds, cosmetics, and medical equipment and the likes, you must have your FDA compulsory, and then a registered business. It might be a business name or a limited liability. In fact, for FDA, to get your FDA number, you need either a business name, either limited, cooperative, NGO. FDA does not look at it. All they care is it's registered with CAC, not SMEDA. No, it's registered with CAC. As far as it's registered, you can use it to get your FDA. Now, to sell on Amazon, if you are doing medical equipment, animal feeds, cosmetics, consumables, you need FDA, and then you need a registered business, whether it's business name or limited liability. But if you are doing fashion, um perfumes, shoes, bags, hair, wigs, anything that is not consumables or skincare or medical equipment, you don't need FDA to sell on Amazon. You understand? You don't need FDA. If what you want to sell is our beads, Ankara bags, Ankara shoes, Ankara whatever, you know crafted things, artworks and the like, your paintings and all of that, you don't need FDA for them. You don't need FDA. It's only all these consumables, skincare, hair cream, excuse me, that you need FDA for. So please take
Okay.
note. If you want to do large scale export, what you need is NEPC license and limited liability company. In fact, without your limited liability, you cannot get an NEPC license. If you have business name registration, you cannot use it to go and process your NEPC. You must first get your business duly registered before you start talking about NEPC or FDA. FDA will accept business name, but NEPC will not accept business name. It has to be limited liability to process NEPC license. Then to sell on Maza Maza, you don't even need to have a registered business to sell on Maza Maza. That's why I said it's the easiest to start with. So on Maza Maza, what you need is just a domiciliary account.
I can't hear you.
Alright. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, ma.
Okay. So for Maza Maza, what you need is just a domiciliary account. Even if your business is not registered, this Oladuni John, this thing is causing wahala. Mute him.
Can you? I can't hear you. I think your voice is ahead. Okay, you can go on now.
Continue.
Oluwaduni John, please, I'm begging you not to unmute it. I notice whenever you unmute, it's always causing.
Exactly. The thing we start doubling the voices will start doubling together. I can't hear it.
Please, Oluwaduni John, please don't unmute again. I'm begging you.
This is
I'm not.
Mute him.
Is it?
Joseph.
Okay,
Yeah.
what am I saying?
Okay, so I
I'm not talking.
you are not talking, but once you're mute is wahala here. Okay, I think that will be enough. Let's commence with the advert. Let's commence with the
You are
advert.
still talking about the mathematics. You didn't finish
See,
it.
you
Before
can't
you are
answer.
talking here,
What's the name?
on our
Let's schedule another time. I can go and look up my phone. I'll send it to you.
Please finish up with the mathematics.
So you understand.
Oluwaduni Joseph, please, I'm begging you. The once you're mute is doubling everything.
It's doubling everybody's talk. Yes.
You don't unmute again.
No, I am not even on. It's just now that I want to talk that I didn't say. That I'm not talking.
Okay.
I just want you to. I am still saying something now. Hey, man,
It is well. That's how it used to be. No, it's not. It's not. Okay.
Okay.
hello, man. Sorry, man.
No.
Please finish up with the matter. You are explaining something that we didn't hear. Sorry, man.
Okay. For the Maza Maza, your business does not need to be registered, right? You can just start from where you are. What you need is a domiciliary account only. And that's why I said it's the easiest platform for anybody, everybody to start, and it's not limited to food. As a matter of fact, they encourage you more to do other products sef. If you are doing fashion and all of that, they encourage you to do more of fashion. Then if you have food stuff, it's okay. Okay, so you don't need business name, whatever. It's an e-commerce platform. So once people place order, they help you ship, and in 24 hours they remit into your account. Okay, so that's just it about Maza Maza. The time has been fast spent. I'm not sure we'll be able to do the advert. That's why I was trying to rush the question and answer. But what's the time? This is
We are
five
using almost
thirty.
3 hours.
We've used almost 3 hours, abi?
Mm.
Almost 3 hours doing this thing. So we have to schedule for next Saturday to hold another meeting like this where we share screen and then we learn step by step how to set up adverts, how to run adverts, how to target buyers in different countries. I'll share tricks of how I've been able to get buyers using adverts, and you know so that everybody knows how to run adverts and target the type of audience you want to buy from you. And the good thing about the advert is that you may not even have documents. It depends on the buyers you are targeting though. If you are targeting individuals or stores or shops, or depending, you may not even need to have documents depending on the buyer you target, right? So you need to learn how to run advert. But aside for the international market, you need it to know how to run your daily business locally, also in Nigeria. So the time is fast spent. The meeting will be scheduled for next week, Saturday. It's like we are going to have a lot of meetings next week. Oh.
I can record mine.
Yes.
Send it.
Okay. So that's what is.
So that's what.
Don't unmute again.
Please,
All
I'm gonna
right.
take my question since we're not doing the advert.
Okay. Okay. Let me attend to question. Madam Chiamaka, you can go ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to ask that concerning exporting palm oil, do I need NAFDAC registration?
No, ma. No.
And
No.
I don't need NAFDAC. Okay.
You
And
don't
which
need
is the best?
NAFDAC, especially if you are even you don't need NAFDAC, especially if you are doing in containers via sea. You don't need NAFDAC. And then if you want to be shipping to African stores, that's you don't still need NAFDAC, but you need FDA. You
Okay.
understand? Mhm. FDA is 100,000. It comes out in 4 weeks, and
In 4 weeks.
yes, in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, and you need your business name. There are some requirements I shared in the group that you need for FDA. Yeah, so
Okay, ma'am. What's the
the best market stores to target for the palm oil.
Is African
And then
stores, is African stores generally.
so the matter palm oil won't be
You
soon
I,
sell
I
much.
will advise you to list your product on all platforms. I can't tell you that palm oil will not sell in Maza Maza stores. No, list it up if you can. All this thing is money. I don't know your capacity. If you can, list it on Maza Maza, Amazon, on what's it called now? In the European markets we are introducing, you can sell to those shops there. You can sell to African shops so that you never can tell which one will do better. Besides, if you are selling there, it means you are making more money for yourself. So Maza Maza accepts oil. But one thing I know is that if you are selling oil on Maza Maza, you are not going to warehouse it with them. It is when orders are placed, you now send it to them. That means you will not be receiving your payment in 24 hours. You have to wait 15 days to receive it because they believe oil is a bit dicey. Anything can happen depending on where it's being packed. So it's best once order is placed, you bring it immediately. So they ship. But if you are not storing with them and orders are placed, you are going to get paid in 15 days. So that's just it.
Okay, but please, what's the price of this palm kernel shell? What's it?
The price for palm kernel shell, it has to be washed too. Is 50, the person is offering 15,000 per ton.
The process of washing it alone, 15,000, will it take care of it and packing it?
It all this thing depends on location that you are sourcing from. You understand? It depends on location. I know a place somewhere in south that they are selling it for 5,000 naira, washed one. And a place in Umuahia, yes, that they are selling washed one, 5,500 per ton. So it depends on your location. If you are staying in a place where it's 15,000, you cannot do it. And besides, you know it cannot be everybody because our location and source is not the same. So this is the buyers this thing. Of course, is negotiable. If you say you have the capacity, he may look at your capacity and increase the price. You understand? So if you have capacity, they will issue you contracts, and then you know then you negotiate and you come to agreement. They reissue you guys sign the contract and you start supply. Or better still, if you know you have the capacity and you cannot do transport, they can come and pick up. If your location is close to an airport, maybe you are within south or southeast, they can come pick up. You just wash dry and they come pick up.
So please, the ton is how many bags?
A ton is
Okay,
1,000 kg.
15,000 for 1,000 kg doesn't make sense.
If your location is inside the village, will they come there and carry it?
If you have the quantity is much, they'll come and carry it.
Okay. Please, ma, is it 15,000 or 50,000?
1,500. One, it's funny, abi.
50,000.
Yes.
I have capacity. Let them increase something. Let them add something. The bank will be okay.
Let it wash one of the right.
That buyer 50,000. Now, wow.
I have the
That's why
capacity.
the
Let them
person is
come
not
up to
getting it.
25,000.
That's why they're not getting it. Why does it have to be washed, please, madam?
That's the buyer specification.
Make it increase money, ma.
I will send you samples. I will send you samples. Let them increase the money. The 5K will be okay.
I didn't get it. How much? How much do they want to pay for it?
15,000 per ton.
And
100
then
kg
we
times 10. Per ton. 100 kg
Sorry,
times
this
10.
15,000, is it naira or dollar? 15,000 naira. Naira. That's they're buying it 150, 100 kg back. You need to employ staff to wash them. How much are we going to pay them to wash 1,000 kg?
I think that's why the person is not able. Because that's 1,000
Is this being recorded?
pounds.
Is it recorded? And maybe we should pause the recording. I don't know.
Stop it.
Then ship it into the truck.
Okay, hello
It's
everybody.
going to be back. Please, can we move to
Please this is the buyer specification. It's obvious all of us cannot do it.
talking about pricing? I wanted to ask ma, talking about pricing, ma. You said the buyers will have to, but if you're processing and what the buyer wants to buy, how do we go about that? So,
I didn't hear anything.
job, I don't have problem.
I didn't hear
Can you hear
anything.
me? Okay, sorry, ma. I'm talking about pricing. You made mention of if buyers want to buy from us. But if peradventure at the end of the day, the cost of production, cost of processing and packaging and labeling and everything is more than what they want to pay, how do we go about that? Can you
If
hear me, man?
your expenses is more than what the buyer wants to pay, how do you go
Yes.
about it?
Ma'am?
You are saying if your expenses and cost of production is more than what the buyer wants to pay, how you should go about it?
Yes. What is more than what the buyer?
And you simply don't do the deal now. Once your expenses is more than what buyer wants to pay, you negotiate with the buyer and let the buyer know that it's already above your budget. Just like we are talking about this palm kernel shell, and buyer is saying that this is what he wants to pay. What will happen is you negotiate, you tell the buyer this is your price. Like someone is saying he has a capacity, the least he can do is 25,000. You understand? The business is about negotiation. If you tell buyer and buyer say no, this is what he has, and buyer cannot shift ground, and you know that you are not going to make profit with the buyer's price, you let it go now. It's not all business that you will do. It's not possible. I've seen, like I told us, I have access to up to 1,000 tons of soya bean, but there's no amount of contract that will come for me now that I want to do, because I know the international market price is way lower than our price is being sold locally. And then if buyer is offering me $500 for CIF soya bean, when I know that even here is above $800, there's no way I would do. If I negotiate and buyer says no, I let it go now. So that's business for you. So once your cost of production is high, you negotiate. If buyer does not agree, you let it go and look for another person that will buy your product. That's just it.
Okay, ma, when can we start supplying the pancake shell?
As soon as you have it now, do you have it? If you have it, you let me know so that the buyer will issue you contract to supply. As in, you guys will agree
All right.
price though.
Okay.
Mm. As soon as,
Yes,
even if you
I
have
have.
it on Monday, buyer is ready to collect. You just let me know your capacity, and then buyer will issue you contract. If you're okay, you sign. If you're not okay, you respond to buyer, tell buyer your price, and you
Hello,
guys
ma.
negotiate and agree.
Hello, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, ma.
Ma, I have sent you video and the picture of the pancake shell. I can supply 2,000 tons.
2,000.
Yes.
Okay. Is it washed and dried?
Wow. Yes. Wash and dry with machine.
Okay, where is your location?
I'm in Lagos State.
Where is the palm kernel shell?
Good for you.
Eh?
I'm in Lagos State.
I know. Where is
Oh,
the palm kernel shell?
you don't do that.
Communicate with her later. I think she's off.
Okay. Okay, one
Where
last
is the
question.
pancake shell?
One last question and we are done for today. The discussion will continue in the group. I have another meeting this now.
Madam Joy, I've been raising my hand since and I've been very quiet. I
Okay,
want to
Madam
speak
Zani B,
more.
please ask your question.
Yeah, thanks so much for your time so far. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And my question is that the purpose of
Let us speak to him.
Ma,
waiting
please, you
for.
help me to speak louder. I'm struggling to hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. In the process of waiting for the FDA to be housed, and can I send my sample to the samples the location you said you're going to share? Can the samples go ahead um without FDA or without branding on them, or they must go out with branding? Because why I ask this question is that most of my products need the FDA. So and I don't know if the samples can go for checking before the FDA is out.
Yes, yes. So this is what I tell my mentees so that they can fast track their export process. Once you've started get preparing your FDA, you are waiting for it to be out, right? You send your sample. When sending your sample, you indicate that your FDA is being processed, right? FDA is being processed while sending the sample. So you can just send your sample, but when you are sending the sample, you package exactly the way you want your product to appear on the shelf abroad. Your labeling, the content of your product, because the testing is not just the content now, it's also the labeling. This distributor is very careful when it comes to packaging and content of your product. So you, if you already have your product packaged, send it like that, so that when they test and effect correction, of course those correction, they will let you know. So you will now effect those correction and then maybe send it back, or snap and send to them. Let them see the correction on your packaging, and then you tell them that the content, maybe they say the moisture or whatever is small, you tell them you've improved on the content. You understand? So that way, you, by the
Okay.
time the test result is out, your, what's it called, your FDA must have been out as well,
All
and
right.
then you now
Okay.
move
Thank
to
you.
the next step. So that's how we
Okay.
do it, but FDA takes 4 weeks. It
Yeah.
could be
Yeah. You
less,
said so.
but
Yeah.
I usually tell people 4 weeks so that I don't go and overhype and
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
check.
Thank you. But thank you.
So with that being said, we've come to the end of our meeting today, and we are going to have series of this same meeting during the week. Yes, we are going to have. So I'll be updating us. I'll be giving links, sharing links for the meeting. So this week, we are expecting our Maza boss to come and show us how to get listed, so that at least the first batch get listed this week. Then our African store distributor will be on board to share with us how we can start as soon as possible, and how they distribute, commission, all those stuff. And our advert will be shifted to Saturday next week, because we've already taken most of our time, and the person that is supposed to handle it is already scheduled for another meeting, so we cannot make it today. On Monday, I'm going to be updating us regarding the African market in Europe, and if they send price, I'll share price so that we see how much the agent is offering for our products, and if it's profitable, so that you know whether to deal with that same product or change another products. So I hope you got value. I hope you learned one or two things. I enjoyed the session, and that's
Madam,
it for
madam,
today.
remember to call me, madam. I promise you.
Thank you very much, ma. God
God
bless you.
bless you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Madam Joy. Please don't forget about the Amazon group. Please. Do you hear me,
Thank
ma'am?
you. All right. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you so much for your compliments.